welcome back to Care is Everywhere, where faith, recovery, and real life healing meet. I am your host, Anthony Brown, aka the Ghetto Practitioner, and today we're talking about transformation, energy, and purpose. I'm super excited to have this wonderful individual being with us today. I mean, I've listened to her and I met her, and I, you guys just wait and see. You're in for a treat today. So welcome my guest, Blu Nyle.
What up? What up? Peace, 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 y'all. Hey,
All right, welcome to the show.
thank you.
Fantastic. Before we get deep into some things, I always ask my guests this question. When you woke up this morning, what was the one thing, Blue, you was grateful for?
Breath. Every second. The first thing I do is thank my higher sources and having a house, having a home, just gratitude for the like simple things for my dog, just life.
Okay, great, cool. I once heard that grateful people are happy people.
Gratitude is the attitude. That's right.
That's That's right. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
That's
Okay.
it.
As for the listeners who may be new to your work, how do you describe who Blu Nyle is today?
Oh, yeah. So, what's up, y'all? Anthony, I'm happy to see you. Thank you for having me on here. I think we met at like an award show, and I was so excited to meet you. I was speaking, I was sharing about my book, Trauma Thriver. But I'm a multi-hyphenate. First of all, I'm a divine being of light. I'm in the sacred arts. I'm a shamanic Reiki master, as well as a storyteller, professional artist, music, TV, and film. But number one, again, this Rooted in Power Healing is my healing company, and also Revolutionary Anecdotes, because I am free and 8.5 years free in sobriety and just celebrating that. So I have a book called Trauma Thriver that I published. I'm a poet, I'm a singer. So like I said, I'm a multidimensional, just spiritual awakening and creative expression is my life.
Okay, and for those who don't know, I'm gonna let you in on a secret, listeners. Over on YouTube, there's a short animation called "I Once Had Nowhere to Go," and there's the voice of an individual throughout that, and that
Yeah.
voice comes from Blu Nyle. So just giving
So,
credit where credit's due, man. And thank you. I'm so grateful for you helping us with that work. Um,
yeah.
I'm curious. That name, Blu Nile.
Yeah.
It just sounds like peace, flow, and rebirth. What's the meaning behind it, and where did it come from?
So Blu Nile was born in New York. I was born in Boston and then I moved to New York. I was signed really young musically, 16 years old, like touring, opening up for big people. So it was quite the experience. But after that girl group kind of, I went through an awakening, moved to New York. I became an individual solo artist. And Blu Nile, it's all about the ancestors. Blu Nile is the only river that flows upstream. And ancient Kemet, my that pulse and that flow that I've always felt. I've always heard higher power. So I always knew I had this higher calling to be a minister or something, or pastor. That's why I was a rapper, and I am a minister now. But like I just knew Blu Nile, it's just bigger than me. My artistic name can't be about me. It has to be for the purpose and the mission. And it stands for belonging, liberating, uniting, new you, limitless empowerment. So it's a mission statement and it's an activation.
Wow. Wow. Ooh, there's way more to it than meets the eye, folks. Man, I'm glad I just
Oh
got.
my.
I am a
Yes.
firm believer that when you want an answer, go straight to the source. You
Yes,
know,
baby. Yes.
fantastic. And, okay, and what part of your personal story shaped that name? Was it pain, purpose, or both?
What shaped that name? Blu Nile. Honestly, pain and purpose. Because as an individual who was a survivor of a lot of things, music saved my life. So music and expression and dancing, singing, all of the arts, all of it really, and me hearing spirit and seeing, auras and angels and loving, you know, beyond religiosity, but the stories of, the great ascended masters and feeling at one with them. So it was basically my purpose and my pain, because through my pain, I was a seeker, seeking all of these higher qualities and ways of spirituality and religion. So it's both. The pain turned into the purpose, and the purpose, pain is a touchstone of growth, but like I'm no longer suffering. Pain and suffering are very different, right?
Right.
So
Okay, cool, cool. Okay, and that's I mean, my viewers are in for a treat today. I mean, care is everywhere. You know, care isn't in a box, and that's the whole thing about our symbol. If you notice, at the bottom of care is the part that's open, because care is always open, and care
Yeah,
comes from all over the place. It's not just one canned method. You
yeah,
know, we strive to reach people everywhere on different levels, because healing isn't just about a band-aid or a hospital. Healing comes from within,
right.
and we're going to tap into that. And I'm glad I was able to, you know, come to a person who's more familiar with that. And we're definitely going to get into depth on that one. My next question is, when did you first realize that your healing journey wasn't about survival? It was becoming a guide for others. When did you first discover that?
Honestly, this is new because as a survivor, and again, 20 years ago I started, I'm a yoga teacher, breath work, somatic therapist, and but all of those modalities that I was doing, I was learning to heal myself.
Mm,
And then when I started working in recovery and teaching and having clients, and God was like, spirit, creator, infinite, was just like letting me know that there's even an easier way. That I wrote the book Trauma Thriver because I once was a victim. Then we get into survival, and then there's this thriving, and then so in the last 2 years I've had these massive awakenings out of fear, and this is just recent. Honestly, I would say I'm I'm happily evolving and going through a divorce. So, and that's the thing that really me leaving that relationship and choosing myself, survival stopped for me. It was the last relationship that was completely a parrot of my mother, father, and origin dysfunction.
mm,
And so I got to own my part and really step up and get my thinking out of survival, because that's how I landed there. I was living in fear and survival.
mm.
So I think just a couple of years ago, honestly.
Okay, okay. And then thank you for your open and honesty, because more people heal better when they're able to not only see the truth but speak the truth as well.
Yes, yes. Well, that's my medicine, Anthony. I think you know that I am a very transparent person, and I think honesty is I know, first of all, honesty is the principle of the first step for all the 12-step people. And beyond that, honesty, the ability to look at oneself. If I have no honest self-reflection, there's no rooting down. Maybe I guess that there could be false roots, but true authentic healing, right?
Mhm.
Takes honesty.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. 100%. And so in your early journey, what was one turning point where everything shifted? That moment when you said, I can't go back to who I was.
Definitely. So, like I shared about the recovery journey, and I'm so grateful the therapist suggested that I would go to a 12-step meeting because I walked into those rooms. I'm very recovering East Coast, New York. I feel like suffering is a way of life on the East Coast. Like it's just, you're so numb, you're just doing it. Like,
Mm,
so when I moved to California, I'm currently living in LA. 16 years ago, I had this soft way of life, this soft way of being, and I started really facing and unpacking all of the past stuff and healing. And I started my indigenous work with the indigenous tribes, and that the shamanic practitioner in me came alive with my real life teachers. So I learned these ways of creating ease, and it started at just seconds, or maybe a minute, and it increased over as I said yes. When I finally said yes to do a 12-step program, because my ego was spiritual, and I was like, I could fix it. I could do it all myself. So the therapist, I had 10
yeah.
months and of giving up drugs and alcohol. And I was like, this is my parents. It's not me. Like, what am I doing? But then I came back and I tried everything I could, and I needed that healing for my mind because addiction and the depression and the mental illness. So it was when I finally said yes to 12 steps.
Okay, okay, okay. Like I said, folks, you're getting it real raw and uncut here at here it's everywhere. I mean, sometimes be careful what you ask for, because we're gonna find it and bring it. We're gonna find it
Hey,
and
that's
bring it.
it. It's
Okay,
time. It's time.
it is time. It is time. So many times we're walking around saying, "Well, I don't know exactly what's wrong, but I know something isn't right." and we try these little shallow techniques to get rid of things, but yet we still feel something deep down inside.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it takes us working with multiple individuals to remove layers. Like one method, one ideology might remove one layer, but what about the next one? They might not be equipped with it. And so we constantly seek other ways on finding peace and comfort because that's the object of the game. How do we navigate this
Yes.
complicated life, you know, with comfort? We don't have to be successful. We just have to be comfortable, not numb, but comfortable in our journey. And,
Wow. Yep.
and so bringing that up a little bit, you call yourself a trauma thriver, not just a survivor. What does that mean to you personally?
Well, I don't call myself that. That's the name of the book I published. I'm free of
Ah,
trauma
okay,
now.
my bad.
Free. Yeah. The like I explained earlier, I put that I trauma thrive on me. I put my little girl on me as a 5-year-old in dance class on the cover because I published that literally during the pandemic. My grandmother, who was my mother's mother, she passed away, and it was like me letting go of all of the trauma. Because in order to release, for me, I have to express it. The opposite of depression is expression. And I'm grateful I've been an artist my whole life because I've gotten to sing, rap, dance. I know that's why I'm alive because things that stay stuck in you, that creates dis-ease. So I published that book to claim to myself that I no longer wanted to be a victim. Like it was a part of my survivor journey. It wasn't about nobody else. And it was just about, honestly, now I kind of wish I chose a different name, but that it's perfect for what it is because when I take it into treatment centers and people's in prisons, like they get it. It's a specific audience because it's real, raw, and uncut. So please, anybody who wants some mess, the poems are the mess to the message. And I reread it and I'm like, even my old way would share, I'm like, oh my God, I was so raw. And I was even more because I had no boundaries then. I have boundaries now. It was just freedom, tell the truth, let it go.
Right. Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, how about those that's out there that's still in survival mode, still fighting those demons day after day? What's one piece of truth you'd share with someone who feels stuck in that space?
Oh man, this too shall pass. Like
Ooh.
just the breath, the breath, the breath. Learn how to breathe. Go take a yoga class. If you can't do yoga, put a breath work. I'm a practitioner of EFT, which is emotional freedom techniques, which we just tap or shake the body, tap the heart. First things first is breathe and don't believe your thoughts. Don't believe the thoughts. Don't believe if it's not life affirming, if it's not given to me from creator. Oh, don't believe it. I have a dear friend who took his life. So many people who listen to those thoughts, and I have counteracted those thoughts so many times. And I got help. I got help. I asked for help. I got a therapist. I went to 12 steps. So please ask for help. Ask somebody. Yeah, I would say breathe and call your local help. Call the local help, whether it's a mental health hotline, whether it's a local safe church. I'm a member of Agape Spiritual Center. And it's an infinite spirituality, whatever it is for you, or, the 12 step programs, go to a meeting. And I
Mm.
know there's so much stigma with that, but like, yo, the ego is not the amigo.
That's right. The ego is not my friend. And then I
No,
love when you
I
say,
gotta make it my best friend. No, I gotta make it my best friend, but like my dog, it's gotta be the dog and it gotta be put in the cage because it's there forever,
okay, okay,
you
I
know?
like it. That's man, woo, nice. And so let's tap a little bit into this forgiveness thing because I've always heard people say forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Okay, if forgiveness is a big theme in healing, especially forgiving yourself. What did that process, if you went through it, look like for you?
you know, I am not one to gaslight anything, to
Uh,
spiritually bypass, to move to anything that I'm not ready for, that I like to speak in I statements. Acceptance for me comes before forgiveness.
Okay.
Acceptance. Acceptance is something where I'm choosing to accept this to free myself, not condone their behavior. So that always came, and then honoring that sacred anger. And then in my ministerial classes and in my spiritual awakenings, when I unify myself with the higher creator, there's no need for forgiveness because forgiveness is an ego thing.
Hmm. Mm.
because all is welcome, all is love. Like beyond religiosity, I'm talking about true unconditional love, and my creator is all loving, all giving, not the non-dual good. So forgiveness is actually ego, because I
I,
think then somebody did something wrong. So
well,
the word I love to use, I choose forgiveness. Like I'm learning how to forgive my mother. God bless her. I'm learning, I'm accepting her. Accepting is a more honest answer for me. And I wish her well. I literally love her so much and I want you to be well. So I forgive you. Like I like the Ho'oponopono. I love the Ho'opono, honoring the indigenous land of Hawaii, the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is the forgiveness mantra that has healed hospital units. When monks have sat and chanted Ho'oponopono, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. That's where I'm at with forgiveness.
wow. Wow, man. Uh, I can't find the words. All I can go is,
Does that make sense? Like, what do you think about that? Like, you know?
I love it. I love it. I love I love life, and because it's full of tools that you can always pick up along the way to help navigate this thing called existence. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's great. I never heard that that mantra. I never. But now
Yes,
oh,
please.
you heard it
Oh,
here.
care. Ho'oponopono, honor and give reverence to the indigenous land of Hawaii. But this mantra, I love you. And I do it to me and my inner child and to my body. Like I teach yoga, I teach all these incredible I'm such a multi-dimensional, so I use all my teachings of the yoga, the Tai Chi, the Vedas, whatever it is. And this tapping that into your body. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. So I'm forgiving myself because yeah, that's a real thing. So once I forgive me, I forgive you easily. It's about me
Right.
and me.
Right. And it's fascinating because I too am in, people that know my show, I'm in 12-step recovery, the journey, things like that. And one of the sayings is you can't transmit something you haven't got, you know? And so I love that acceptance part that you shared with us. And I really appreciate your knowledge. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, yeah, you've already mentioned the acceptance. Other, in addition to that, in your coaching and healing work, um, is there any other steps you would encourage people to take when they say, "Hey, I'm ready to heal"?
Yeah, of course. Again, looking in the mirror, like to thine own self be true. So like I take what I like and leave the rest.
Mm,
And I honor, I read the Bible. I love the sacred text. I go to the source. I love, I'm Buddhist. I'm a universal priestess. So find something that speaks to you. If it's Lao Tzu or like, that's the Tao, right? There's so many philosophies and great minds, ascended masters. I think it's like see where you lean in to and like really develop that spiritual faith, not
mm,
religiosity. I'm talking about true love, true healing, true love beyond all judgment, because that's what I know to be true as an agape minister. Sadly, colonization has really traumatized human beings, right?
mm.
We know that to be true. So I've got to go within and look in my higher powers inside of me. Like Yeshua the Christ said, it's like, do as I do and you'll have as I have. Like the first it was the word and the word was whatever I said it was. Me, you, higher source. So come online in that way and I know it takes spiritual literature and little spiritual awakenings and activations, but follow the language of your body, your heart, not the ego. What's going to open my mind, body, and soul? And forget what everybody else thinks. Become an authentic human.
Right, right. And I learned, what everybody else think about me is none of my business. That's just the way I was taught, man. And so it's interesting. You mentioned faith and some spirituality and things like that. Um, Faith and energy. You blend spiritual healing, God, and frequency all in your work. Um, how do you bring it all together without losing that message of faith?
Well, for me, there's only one cause. There's only one creator. There's only one love. There's only one thing. So it's not many things. It's literally one thing, and it's love.
Okay.
And it's energy. So I'm a shamanic Reiki master, and I take the word master seriously. That's 10,000 hours. Just like I'm a master MC, I'm a master songwriter, I'm a master creative, because that's way more, hundreds of thousands of hours. But 10,000 hours of since 2007, whenever it was that I began my Reiki level 1, level 2, level 3, more than however 15, 16 years ago. Learning energy, like Tai Chi, and learning that everything is energy, and somatic healing, coming into the body and really feeling into, I don't know, associating with my body, not disassociating, trauma responses, like really understanding that most humans are not even in their heart. I was born in my heart. Like my heart, I'm a heart activator. And that's why I piss a lot of people off, because people are in their mind or not even in their body.
Mm.
And when you say some shit or sorry, excuse me, say some things that you're not
And
ready to heal, um, we have to be open to allow our shadow to be revealed and stop denying it and stop running from it. And we got to have some humility. And
see,
again, it comes back to the how: honesty, openness, and willingness.
man,
I love your
I,
reaction.
I just very few things leave me speechless. And I'm just blown away with this additional knowledge. It's something I can sit back and, again, people, I'm known for getting a nice cup of warm tea and lighting the scented candle and listening to some classical music and just going away from all the hustle and bustle of reality and finding myself within my inner peace. And you just gave me something else to take with me. I appreciate that. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. Okay, and so let's a lot of people, and I talk to people from all over the spectrum. A lot of people's, I was raised in church, don't always understand things when we use the word energy and vibration. How could we break
Mm.
it down in the language of healing in a way that connects across all faiths?
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. And again, I break it down to love and fear, right? And how I feel in my body. So if I'm feeling tense, if I'm feeling open, right? Open love makes for me is safe and it's open and it's gentle. Fear is rigid and it judge. It's not safe, right? So energy, when I bring my hands together, right? And I'm rubbing my hands and I'm feeling there's some warmth, fire, water, air, kind of bring it back to the earth, bring it back to who we are, our body, our elemental. And we have this, the scientists call it a bioplasmic field. So it's kind of about opening our mind to more, that we are these learning about the body and the mind and the relationship to the mind and the heart. And I guess just evolving and getting curious and being more open, because I'm not here to convince anybody. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Take what you like and leave the rest, period.
Right.
If you're feeling a calling in this new era of life and you trust electricity, you put the lights on, the lights are going to be on. We are electric beings. We have an electromagnetic field. So for me, it's just about being more open-minded and understanding how we are energy and how energy gets blocked or it flows like water. And that's how our meridians are in our body. As a yoga teacher and like studying all this stuff, take a yoga class, even a yin yoga class, because it's slow. It's a great place to begin.
Okay. And and it's again, I so relate to what you're saying, connected to a lot of other um just this medical philosophy that we go by, the not necessarily the pill will cure you, but the pill will help you. And it's like that's it it's not for everybody, but always related back to what you're saying is always start low and go slow. When you
Mm.
first get introduced to anything, don't I can't tell people what to do. But for me, I'd rather say, okay, let me look at it, look into it, and then get deeply involved into it. So too much
Yeah,
doesn't put me in fear. So that's
yeah, of
cool. I love the way you put that. Do you think
course.
trauma or feel trauma can block a person's connection to God?
Say again?
Do you think or feel that trauma can block a person's connection to God?
No, nothing can. Absolutely. I mean, ego can block everything. Ego, judgment, but spirit. creator, everybody defining what God you have, because whatever you're thinking about is your God, right? I'm talking about the infinite creator for me, my most high, all creator, is everywhere, always, omniscient, omnipotent, the universe. So obviously it's a human issue. Obviously, it sounds like an inside mental mind perception problem.
Mm. Okay, okay. And you said before that love is the highest frequency. How does that truth show up in the person's life or their work?
Again, there's an incredible Dr. David Hawkins that I've studied, and his books have transformed my life and all my research. I do, and I apply it in my life. And I think that's the difference between a lot of this Western medicine stuff, because they're not measuring frequency. It's all just old data that they're diagnosing people on. But now with this, there's so many new biohacks and that are measuring different things in the body. And again, bringing in the epigenetics, which is a biology that has proven that Dr. Bruce Lipton have that the genes change with environment and energy and intention and thoughts. Thoughts can change your life.
Mm.
And it takes 6 months to create a new neural pathway. So when I start to understand that, oh, I have to create, it's a mind problem and it's a thinking problem. And every emotion, Dr. David Hawkins has a emotional scale. Fear, shame is like the bottom, right? 30 is near death. And then in the middle, courage, 400. The human body can have a frequency up to 700 megahertz. Some people 1,000, like enlightened monks. But this is scientific stuff. But when we talk about frequency, like if you put a frequency of hip hop on, it's sad because they make you want to fight. So people fight. But when you put the frequency of classical music, it's expansive. All of a sudden, I want to create something, and it's like monumental. So I think that frequency, coming in to understand the feeling tone of our words and our actions, if we can take some accountability, I think frequency and love is literally everything. And that seems so simple, but yet it's not. The leading edge on our society is all about money, the green, right?
Mm.
So I think it's absolutely everything if one can wake up and love themselves. But sadly, I live in America. I live here, and my indigenous lands. I'm not my mom, but everybody in America is dysfunctional family in some way, or shape, or form. like,
Okay.
so I think if people can do the inner work and just admit that we can end the dysfunction. The dysfunction can end, and it's not disrespecting the elders. Love you, and I can go beyond you.
Wow. Just come right to the solution. Just pull the Band-Aid off. And
That's the only
sometimes
way to do it, Anthony. Time is of the
right.
essence.
And sometimes we just gotta have the straight, hardcore, honest truth. You know, a lot of times we wanna worry about feelings and things like that, and in a sense we're killing ourselves, we're dying.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to get right to the facts. Go right. Just what is this? Just give them the business. Just, look, this is what's going on. Whether you
Yeah.
choose to or not. If what is that saying? If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Always tell people it's like don't talk about it, be about it.
But it's the
Let's.
compassion too, because generational. I'm an elder millennial, so 80s baby, 82, where 70s, 60s, 50s, and before, like it was a different time. Like I have compassion because some people, that's not, some things just don't change, sadly. But like for me, I'm coming in on fire in a whole new frequency, and I'm not listening to anybody outside of me except my
Okay.
inner source and my higher power.
Cool. Love it. Love it. Okay, and so we're transforming messages all over the spectrum. My passion, as you know, is with the homeless community or the unhoused, or whatever flavor word they put on it for the day. The people who are out there are brothers and sisters in the streets. Period.
Yeah.
And I say our brothers and sisters because everybody out there came from somewhere. They're related to somebody. And a lot of times we forget that this is a human being just like every one of us. And I want to be able to get a message that had depth and weight. And since everybody has some sort of device of listening, and I want to talk to the people who are listening right now, those that are hurt, maybe in recovery, maybe homeless, maybe feeling forgotten. If one of them is sitting across from you right now, What would you say to that?
Hmm. You know, the what I usually give is food, right? Like food. Let's share some food, some water, those nourishing things. There's really listening. Like, what do you want to say? What do I have to say to this person? I would say allowing the moment to open to miraculous transformation. Like, can I move into the state of a miracle zone and maybe give myself a little bit more credit than I ever have because I'm alive and it's never too late. I'm not the mistakes that I made in the past. Those were experiences and they don't define me,
Mm,
but I'm ready to change right now. And if you can be honest about that, and then if be honest with yourself if you're like, nah, I want to stay dysfunctional and a delinquent. Like that's just it. It's easier, right? Because it takes some effort to put you. I've talked to people and they're like, no, I'm happy. You think I'm upset, but I have no bills. They're on the streets. They're like, I'm good. I'm out here just no bills living that life. And some people aren't. Some people are mentally ill. Everybody's different. So that's why I would say I ask them, where you at, honestly? Like, is this the life you really want? Or are you ready for some change? And can you give yourself some credit? Because mental illness is real.
mm, mm.
I don't know.
Okay. Wow. Love it. I'm telling you, I'm just eating this stuff, and my spoon ain't big enough to digest it all right now. Mhm.
Sad. That's what everybody says. I'm like, I'm an ocean baby. I'm done being a thimble. I
That's
can't make
right.
myself
That's
a
right.
thimble.
Yeah. Don't turn off the faucet yet, because I'm still thirsty. Um, is it how do you help people believe they still have? You just shared that a little bit, even if they lost everything. You said a statement, and I'm trying to grasp it. You said you're not the symbol or who you used to be, or something. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, I'm an ocean and I'm no longer pretending to be a thimble because I was surrounded by thimbles, making myself smaller. All my emotional depth, my intellectual depth, my spiritual depth, all of this kind of shrinking myself. That's why my part in my, last trying to change people. Like, oh yeah, maybe they'll change. Yeah, but I love them, but yeah, they don't. We don't have faith in common. We don't have spiritual in common. They're not emotionally available, but maybe they'll change. So that was me healing from my narcissistic parent abuse. God bless them, and my dad passed away from that, and so I had to go through my healing process to realize, oh, my creator is my real parent, and I'm responsible for me, and I'm an ocean. And I've surrounded myself with thimbles because that's called healing trauma. That's
Mm,
called healing generational trauma. That's what happens. We play it out in life until we wake up, until the lesson is learned enough. Turn the page. But people stay on the same lessons for 80 years. And I'm
mm.
not one to do that. I'm turning pages and I'm learning lessons. Lesson learned. Next.
Love it, love it. And so it's and I know it's all part of the universe and what is supposed to be and things like that. But do you ever have moments of doubt or weariness? And if so, what keeps you grounded?
Absolutely. That's the thing. Like I share so much about the process and now I've already cleared my way with my practice and I'm in the consciousness like of abundance, of hope, of love, of joy, of spirit, right? Well, of course, when I wake up in grief crying, oh my God, I can't do this. What do? I go to my practices. I have my life is a spiritual practice. I take my life to my practice and my practice to my life. That's why I'm a minister. And that's why I do that naturally. And I have. But I realize, so it's about like, I try to share honestly too sometimes. If I ain't got it today, I let myself cry. But because I know and I have trained for the past 16 years and all these things I learned how to save my life, I created my spiritual morning practice, all day long practice. So I know how to work with emotions and I know emotions aren't real. They're valid, but they're
Mm,
telling an old story and I'm constantly writing a new story.
okay.
So yeah, it's just being human, man.
just, just being human, man. I love it.
Yeah.
We should make that a bumper sticker. Just being human, man. You know? Just being human. I love it, man. It's oh, great, great. Okay, and so you know, I could keep going on and on and on about this. This is I gotta take a deep
right?
breath. Man. You definitely filled my cup up and it's overflowing. I appreciate it. You know, um, Blue, this has been powerful. Powerful. Thank you for showing up and sharing your heart. Before we close, where can people find your music, your book, your healing work, and message? Tell us how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, rootedinpowerhealing.com. Rootedinpowerhealing.com. And again, my artist name is Blu Nyle, BLUNYLE. So put that in everywhere: Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, all the music and all the book, everything will pop up. Blu Nile, yeah. And I hope to see you. Just the community that I'm building, the spiritual expression and creative expression, and really unifying it. I'm grateful. And at BLUNYLE World is the main Instagram, but we all over the place.
Okay, and you got that, listeners. Reach out and get touched. It's just it's amazing. And again, very few things leave me at a loss of words. But this has just been so powerful, so deep, and so insightful and enlightening. I just thank you for
Yeah,
coming
you're
to our
welcome.
show. You know.
Thank you, Anthony, for the work you're doing. We need that. The ghetto practitioner. I love that shit. Like, sorry, I keep saying swearing a little bit. I'm trying to stop swearing.
And like we just sometimes we get stuck doing the human thing.
That part.
So and so family out there, I hope you caught this. Healing don't live in the hospital, it lives in your heart. And so
Mm,
for the next time, this is me, Anthony Brown, aka the Ghetto Practitioner, reminding you that care is everywhere because God is everywhere. So I'll see y'all
yeah.
next time. Thank you.